Welcome to another episode of Poetic People Fighting Racism. The show will start in approximately 4 minutes and 15 seconds, and where you will be able to see me and hear me, and if you wish, you can interact with me via Facebook or YouTube. But if you actually want to be in the show, on the show with me, to where the audience can see and hear you, there's a link you can click on Facebook and YouTube, which will bring you straight into the show. It will bring you straight into the show, but you won't be on the stage. But we'll be able to see you in what we call the green room, and we'll let you know when we're going to bring you to the stage so you can make your comment or question or just have a discussion with me, because that is highly encouraged. So we've got about another 3 minutes and 15 seconds, so please stand by. Now, also, there will be a QR code that pops up in the show from time to time. And if you scan that QR code with your smartphone, that will also bring you in on the show to where we can see you and hear you. But also, make your comments, ask your questions, because those keep the show rolling and make the show more interesting if we can hear what you're thinking. So type in your comments. So we got about another 2 minutes and the show will begin. So please stand by. And I would also like to apologize. I should have done a show, not last weekend, but the weekend before that on Saturday. However, I did attend a funeral on that Saturday, and my energy was just drained. So, didn't do a show that time, so excuse me for that. But I am here tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern. So the show will start in about 47 minutes, and you'll be able to see my happy face. So see you soon. Please stand by. Hello. I think we're here, and if you can see me okay and hear me okay, please let me know by giving me a hey, what's up? Would be good. So let's get to it. So, welcome to Poetic People Fighting Racism. I'm your host, Anthony Cordova, Tony C., the man about love. Now, you know I'm just trying to spread a little love every day with activism living inside me. So what in the world can I do, can you do, can we do with just another online show? So let's see where we go when we know what we feel is real. Let's show how we deal with real discrimination. Let's show how we use with what we have with poetry. Let's show how we live with real racism taking our breath away while taking our lives away every day. We take steps to make us better and stronger the longer we live with poetry in our souls as we grow old and wise. This is why we're on this journey, because we're seen as the others, not brothers and sisters. They got us playing Twister, just waiting for us to topple down, always trying to keep us underground. But we keep rising and standing up for our rights. Our rights we already have. So let's do what we do with love and poetry. Every day, we can be the change we need to be because we are everyday people, creative, smart, and strong people. We are poetic people fighting racism. That's you, that's me. We are poetic people fighting racism. So welcome to another episode of Poetic People Fighting Racism. Now, this is episode number 11. And if you've seen, the title of this episode is Don't Forget. Now, I forget stuff all the time. That's just who I am. But this time I want to give you all a reminder, don't forget. And that's kind of what I'm doing with the poetry. The poem I'm going to do tonight, which is called Keep Marching. Okay. Now, I hope everybody's been okay. I hope your lives have been going well with all the things that go on in this country. I hope things are going well for you, or as well as they can be. Now, the poem I'm doing tonight is called Keep Marching. All right. Now, in this poem, if you have been to this show before, you know my manuscript. I make reference to the blue and white eyes. And the blue and white eyes stands for the racist people in this country, for the most part. Okay. Now, the blue part represents a certain group of people that feel they are superior to everyone else because their skin is white. They believe they have pure blood that makes them better than anyone else. You've heard the term blue bloods. Well, that's who they think they are. Okay. Who knew, right? And the white part refers to the white gaze, seeing things through a white person's eyes and mind, which everyone doesn't think that way that's white, but there is a large group of people in this country that feel that way. So their view of the country, of the world, of people is kind of skewed. So they don't see it quite clearly. So I will make reference to them in the poem. So when you hear me mention the blue and white eyes, I'm not talking about people with blue and white eyes. All right. Let's see. So I'm just going to get to the poem. Let me see if there's anything else I'm forgetting to tell. Oh, yes, please click the link If you want to make comments or questions, I welcome them. Also, if you want to talk to me live on the show, you can take your smartphone and scan that QR code right there, and we'll be talking right here on the air. And this is a live show. So there's no need to be afraid or nervous. This is just like we're having a phone call, only you can see me. How about that? All right, with that, I'm going to get right into the poem. And this poem is called Keep Marching. Let's pull that music up. There it is. We need to keep marching with our souls on the street pavement under our feet. We need to keep marching on the street under the sun when it's cold, when it's hot or wet, any day, any year. We need to keep marching. We need to keep marching with our ancestors' blood soaked into city streets, with billy clubs that broke our heads and ribs and hands, with chokeholds and ropes that snapped our necks. We need to keep marching. We need to keep marching because we keep being shot down by guns, held by racist minds and laws. Hunting season again. We are sport for hate, baiting us with an American dream. We need to keep marching. We need to keep marching to save our rights, to gain free life, to save black lives, to save you, to save me, to save all minority lives, to protect our future. We need to keep marching. We need to keep marching to be one with our future, to be one with you, to be one with me, to be one with all minority lives in this country of lies, to save our lives. We need to keep marching. We need to keep marching to keep us from just living, then just dying at the hands of the blue and white eyes, hatred and lies. Lies that keep us in shackles and chains. Some of us don't see. We need to keep marching. We need to keep marching so they can see us coming and feel us marching in this place, all in their face, history taking place in the country we call home, but we still feel all alone. We need to keep marching. We need to keep marching because they don't want to see us, but they will see us. They will hear us. They will feel us marching in the streets with our ancestors rising from unmarked mass graves. We need to keep marching. We need to keep marching because this is what we do. This is who we are. They create laws to use cars to run us down, mowing us down like weeds rising from cracks in the streets. They create laws to arrest us. They make it easy to do. We need to keep marching. We need to keep marching. We need to keep marching because we have seen this before. We need to keep marching because we have been here before. We need to keep marching because we create our freedom. We need to keep marching because this is what we do. We need to keep marching. We We need to keep marching. We need to keep marching. Okay, that is that poem. Usually, I go line by line after the poem. And I am also opening the floor to any questions or comments that you may have. But tonight, unless there are some questions, I think my producer might have a question or comment. Yes?
I have both.
Yes.
Comment, that was an excellent poem.
Well, thank you, Jill. I
Question,
appreciate that. Yes.
you said keep marching. Have you marched?
You know, I have never marched.
But one doesn't have to march to be an activist, correct?
This is correct. This is my part of marching. This is what I can do. You know, I spent most of my life on the road, gone, never home. I wasn't marching. I wasn't marching when I was a kid because I was too young. I wasn't marching when I was an adult because I was chasing money. But now what can I do? I can write. I can read my poetry on this show. I have a voice. How many of you can say you have a voice? What are you going to do to march? What does your marching look like? Just a question. So, Jill, was there anything else? No, that was it? Okay. So, like I said, I usually go line by line after the poem. Not line by line, but I take out key points of the poem. But I'm not doing that tonight. This one's pretty straightforward. You know, we need to keep doing what we can do. So the question is, what are you going to do? Well, one thing you can do is in November, vote. This next presidential election may be the most important one in my lifetime, and I'm pretty old. Depending on who wins this election, if the wrong person wins, the clock in this country can very well be turned back. Your vote can have an impact on your life, depending how you vote. Think about it. We're already being, like in the poem, killed in the streets. These things have been happening for hundreds of years to us. We're killed as less than. Now, if the wrong person wins this presidential election, things can very well be turned back. Things can change for the worse. And if you look, things have already been turned back. Women no longer have control of their bodies. clock's been turned back. Think about death, your death. What if you're the one that gets pulled over for a traffic ticket and you end up murdered? Now you may think, oh, this can never happen to me. Maybe it won't. Maybe it'll happen to your children. Maybe it'll happen to your grandchildren. The clock is being turned back. Something I also don't want you to forget is the insurrection. That happened. That happened. A bunch of people tried to overthrow the United States government. First attempt. What happens next time? They may be successful. What do you think is going to happen to you if you're a person of color, if you're an immigrant in this country? What do you think will happen if the government is overthrown here? What do you think would happen if the wrong person gets elected? And for those of you that are independents, I used to be an independent. I no longer am, but I used to be. Vote with your conscience. Don't vote in a way where you think the economy will be better if you elect a Republican. Because it won't be. Finance is finance. It almost doesn't matter whether there's a Democrat or a Republican in office. We, the little people, we don't control that. But really vote with your conscience. Think about it. If a certain person gets elected, I mean, this is a person that holds up a Bible and then turns the government against the public for a photo op. What do you think he's going to do to you if he's elected? Either for him or against him, remember? You know? So really, really, really think about what you're going to do when you vote. There are many Republicans that have decided they're still Republicans, but they're going to vote Democrat this year. These are people that understand. And they all say, I'm still a Republican. I'm going to go back to voting Republican. After this, I'm not turning into a Democrat. And, cool. That's what this country is about. No problem. When I was growing up, this kind of stuff that we see now didn't happen. There's a presidential election. Nobody gets crazy. Nobody's threatening anyone else. When the election is over, okay, well, my person didn't win. Okay. All right. But you had your vote. It's not like that anymore. So that's why it's so important for you to do your part. What can you do to be an everyday activist? Vote. That's something you can do. This is not the year to exercise your right not to vote. No one is forced to vote. You don't have to. You can exercise that right, but this is not the year to do that. It's not. So do what you need to do, because literally your life can depend upon it. Your children's lives can depend upon it. Your grandchildren's lives can depend on it. Your brothers, your sisters, your uncles and your aunts, your friends. So many people's lives can depend on you voting. So make sure you do. I'm going to. Don't forget. We need to keep marching. This is partly how we do it. And that's all I have to say about that. So I'm pretty sure I don't have any comments or questions. Didn't see anyone there. So I'm going to close out the show. Yes. So what do I need? I need music. And here comes the music. So remember to check me out on Poetic People Fighting Racism every other Saturday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. And the next show will be on the 21st of September. Not the 21st. Oh, I have a prior engagement on the 21st. Jill keeps me straight. So it'll probably be, my calendar doesn't go that far, but it will be in August. I think the first weekend of August. Not the first weekend. No, we're in September. It'll be in the first week of October. There we go. All right. That's okay. And also check out I'm Right every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. And you can watch that on YouTube and Facebook. Or you can go to Jill's website, jillcoxcordova.com, and click the podcast tab. Yay, 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 yay. All right. So I'm going to say I love you all. Till next time. Bye, bye, bye.